Hi, Logan.
Hello,
It's nice to see you.
you too. Have a new
Oh,
kitten.
so cute. I
don't know how much I really have to say. Um,
Yeah, it's okay. Welcome to just sit here too.
It's funny how my heart just gets pounding being in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Lately, it's been kind of like noticing the belief that there must be something more. Um, and yeah, there's just something so like unbelievable about it just being this. I don't know. Um,
Nice. I think that is really beautiful because that's the thing that made me um, search or do for other things. And then I would see, like, oh, yeah, it's not really it. But yeah, that in a way, that's the challenge of this. It's like, no, it can't just be this.
right. Yeah. And of course, that's like all the conditioning, like all the promises of something more. Mm.
I almost felt like at a certain point, I had turned my back on everything and everyone because everything is saturated with the personal energy or all the beliefs, all the ways of being, everything. It's everywhere. And it is partially sad to see that. But then it's also like, well, what's the other option? that I'm fully in it again, suffering, confused, never at rest, always looking for something else. And sure, I can have more acceptable, normal conversations with people and belong, but never really belong. But yeah, the emptier it gets, the yeah, the more obvious it becomes like this is the only answer if there is one. It is kind of like all or nothing.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like one little drop of buying into the story is like totally lost.
Nice.
Mhm. Yeah, guess that's all. Thanks, Suzanne. It's good to see you.
Oh,
Good to
it's
be
nice to
with
see
you.
you, Logan. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Hi, Elaine. Oh,
Nice to
it's
be
nice
here
to see
again.
you.
It's been a
Yeah.
while. I have been catching up, but it's not quite the same as being in person. So I have a bit of a odd question. Well, it's probably not really an odd question. It's so I've kind of got to the point whereby I can see really clearly the personal energy, and I can see really clearly all the stories, like my stories, other people's stories. I just came back from a family gathering. My family's mental, but a lot of fun. And it was the first time I like was listening to all their stories and they were telling me about what was going on. And I was just listening and I was like, wow, this is all just nonsense. Like it was really weird. Like I just dropped all my need to do anything with it. Like it was a really odd, it was a really odd experience. And it was almost like, oh yeah, I really love these people, but I don't. Like I love them like I love the trees or the sky or you know what I mean? Like
Nice.
they weren't kind of like people that I needed to get something from or have. I mean, the whole thing was really odd. And so I went away from that and I thought, okay, that's different. But then now when I'm doing, so every morning I like to journal and do a bit of inquiry and just it's like the one time, I don't know, for whatever reason, fresh in the morning, I could just sit in bed with my coffee and it just feels very juicy time. And I've it's almost like I've come up to the edge. You know that movie? Oh, what's it called? Where he's in a play and he doesn't know it and he gets to the edge. He has to sail in the boat and then he gets to the edge and then it's just like can't remember what it's
Mm,
called. I can't can't remember the actor, Jim Carrey, and he like gets to the
Oh, the
end. Yeah,
Truman.
the Truman Show.
Oh,
Thank you,
okay.
Clea.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the Truman Show, but I know I am. So the problem, if we can call it a problem, is that just everything is. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. So it's literally like I've got to the edge, and I'm feeling the barriers, the barrier. It's almost um like I'm seeing the beliefs are just energy, and my body's just energy, and so are the senses. Like when I'm listening to something, or when I'm watching my breathing, or this whole thing of be mindful, now it's like, well, that's just the same as thinking. Like the whole thing is it's all just the same. It's all just manifesting energy. But the one that's witnessing it is the problem. Does that make sense?
The witnessing is also just happening. But I understand that.
Because I feel like there's this referencing happening. So I'll be like hearing something, and I'll be like, oh, and there's this
Mm,
I can feel the energy like bouncing in and out from
mm,
me trying to make the sound have distance and
mm,
location. And then when I have a thought, the thought comes up. It's like, oh, yes, consciousness is just believing this thought, like wholeheartedly believing this. Am I making any sense at all?
mhm. Yeah. So yeah, that the only way that that energy just naturally dissolves is the uh complete death. So it's not really a problem. It's not that you can stop that. It will, it's naturally immersed or entangled with the witnessing, whatever. We're just using a random word for that,
Yeah.
witnessing. Um, it will it will just take hold of anything, any functioning that's happening of the body.
Yeah.
That's like normal.
But it's also realized that there's nothing that can be done.
Yeah. Nice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, not nice. It's
Oh.
really annoying because I'm like, well, okay, so
Well,
whether I meditate or not makes no difference because I'm the one, you know what I mean? Like I'm the one meditating, and I'm just a figment of my imagination.
yeah, it's hopeless. It's completely and utterly hopeless.
Right.
And that it's a great thing to see that. It's devastating. It's not what the person wants, but it has to see that it's utterly hopeless.
And I've been hitting this kind of hopelessness probably for the last year on and off. Like it's not quite as devastating anymore. Like it's more just kind of like, well, this is a complete waste of time. It's more like that kind of feeling, It's just kind of like, well,
Mm.
I've been round and round. It's literally like I feel trapped, but I also know that's also a concept. I'm trapped.
Yeah, but it can feel like a stuckness or trappedness in the body for sure. That sounds familiar.
Mm.
Because if there's nowhere to go and you see how hopeless all of the external seeking is, and you can't even do anything with this sense that I feel like I'm being aware or witnessing or whatever, then it's like, yeah, you're gonna feel that, uh, oh shit, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah. And I can also feel like everything's already awake.
Mm, nice.
You know what I mean? It's like everything is just, it's right there. And I can't, it's such a, yeah, it's really annoying. Because everything is right, is, is right here. And it's almost like I just need to like take a breath and the whole thing will just vanish. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like it's right there, and yet it's a million miles away.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, that sounds very familiar.
So I was kind of like hoping you had a magic wand. Maybe you could just like wave it around. I think we'd all like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's where you um in a way you let go of all of the concepts and the ways to get to this and the different ways of seeing and perceiving. Like in a way it doesn't matter anymore. You're just trying to get somewhere that's it already is, and you're just feeding that energy that wants to get somewhere, and it's all pointless in a way. Not in a super devastating way. When I say pointless now, it sounds so beautiful to me.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, then there really is nothing to do, nothing you can do to get to the obviousness that there's nowhere to go. Um, and yeah,
Funny because it feels really sad, but also really obvious at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's it's like I know this.
yeah, it can be very sad.
Mhm.
But I kind of like what you said about when you were with your family and you saw that they're no different than anything else.
It was weird. Yeah. But it's kind of like it's funny actually, because I'm in the mental health field. So I give people advice all day long. But even that, I'm just like, well, you're telling me a story and I'm telling you a story and it's all fine, take it, leave it, whatever. So I'm kind of still finding it pretty easy to be in the world. It's just it's just really obvious to me that it's like Netflix.
Yep.
So it's still kind of fun. Like I'm not really turning my back on it because it's a little bit boring, but it's still entertaining enough to go in and out. And I'm not in it a lot.
Hmm.
So it's kind of okay because it's part-time. But there is a part of me that's a bit like, ooh, if this drops, then I'm really in trouble.
That's what you would think. It's
Mm.
hard to imagine what it's gonna be like because I had the same feelings come up probably multiple times. And I really thought I don't know if I could continue this. I just don't know.
Mm.
Um, and I guess I still don't know. I just don't care to know.
Yeah. But there's something really interesting to me at the moment about the mechanics of how the energy goes. It's kind of like when it goes into a thought, it's just completely consumed by that thought. And then it kind of pops out again and then is consumed by the sound or consumed by the breath but it still feels very Like it's still, I'm still watching that. Like it's coming up and going back down again and coming up and I still feel that that I am here, like right in my body. It's really weird. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything else to say. I just kind of like, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't really figure it out. It's just doing that.
Yeah.
And also, who cares if it's doing that?
Well, the personal me cares quite a lot. It's sitting there going, luckily not in my morning, not my more. I think that's why I choose mornings because it's not quite woken up yet. It takes a while to get going. So first thing in the morning, I'm like, okay, still sleeping. Shh, let's get on with it.
Mm,
But yeah, as I get up and out into the world, it does seem to formulate itself a little bit more strongly.
mm.
And it is very
Um,
interesting talking to you right now. I can feel it much more tangible.
mm,
Like it's coming up a little, getting a little bit like
mhm. Yeah. I would almost say if you've been accustomed to sort of giving attention to the feeling of the thoughts and the feeling of the sound and the feeling of the sensations in the body or something, or even to the witnessing, I would almost say let that go. Let the compartmentalization of that go. It might happen out of pattern still, the tendency to kind of focus on that stuff, but that's not needed anymore.
that's interesting when you say that because immediately I'm like, what? Then what?
Yeah, exactly. It can hold on to anything, it can make it a thing. It can make it a reason, oh, I'm still there because it's perceived that way, or I'm still, but it doesn't matter. It's nonsense.
That's funny. Oh my God. Okay.
So it might take time for that to soften. It could just be patterned in the body now, but just know like it doesn't matter. It's okay.
Oh my God, that's really funny. Okay, I'm gonna go with that.
That's why there's nothing to do. You see how there was stuff given to you to do, to focus on. And that's why you could see everything is keeping that alive. It's
Oh,
giving it something to do.
yeah, that's brilliant. I love that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Yeah. Oh, it's so nice to see you.
Yeah, really nice to be here. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing. Hi, Jazz.
Hi,
Hi, nice to meet you.
meet you too. Um, this is my first time in the group. I'm excited.
Oh,
Um,
welcome.
thank you. Um, wow, my mind is just blown like from just what y'all talked about. So I was like, whoa, I was just taking that in. I
Yeah,
was like,
take your
oh,
time.
I received that. Um, I'm excited to be here. Um, I've had these great, I guess, like themes and lessons around friendships and relationships coming up, you know, and as I'm noticing like just clearing out a lot of things and just noticing a lot of conditioning. Uh, there's been like an issue in like probably all of my close friendships, like a little like something's there, even if it's not like huge, but just something's going on with it. And um, and it feels all the same too, the same time.
Mm.
And then I spent time with a friend, and we actually are like both very much into this work together, and which has been really sweet. And um, after we hung out, and it was just very like flowy, and I haven't really spent time with her in a while. And at the end of the night, like I just felt this like major like heart opening, and um I just felt like all this like a ton of sensations like in my chest, and feeling like all this like kind of like lifting happening. And then it's just like I feel an immense like just love for everyone, kind of just like as one. And just the ways that I think that they don't show up or they're not present, or like just kind of like all these like thoughts and like struggles or whatever it is, like it was just getting like resolved like within a matter of hours.
Mm.
Like a friend hit me up to check on me and was just like, hey, like if you're not free to come to this, and I was kind of like stressed out about coming to her baby shower. She was like, it's cool, we could just see you next year. And I was just like, what? Like it was just like
Oh,
like a conversation after conversation. And then I was sending out some appreciation like notes to people like, as it was just coming, as I was having the heart opening. And I was like, okay. I was like, oh wow. And it's something like I felt so clearly like everyone truly is meeting you where they're at too in their consciousness and their like whatever's like going on with them too. Like, and it doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't know. It's just like I really like felt that more in my body. Like, oh, like that does I know that conceptually. I was like, but it like doesn't actually mean anything,
mm.
you know?
Oh, beautiful.
I This is coming from, I don't know, like I've had a lot of abusive friendship situations as well. Um, where I didn't always know like where someone's being real or authentic with me. Like that was a challenge because of this wanting to feel love so bad, wanting to have connection or validation so badly. And so I've noticed like the ways I would try to connect, um, like it just the connections would be just so off. And like I don't know, there's just obviously it's hard to talk about, but um, I just feel this deep just love and connection within or something or that I have never felt before, and it's not because someone is loving me back or anything. Like it's not because I'm getting something from someone. Like, oh yes, look, I'm being chosen. I'm
Mm.
being loved by others. Here's the, it's like, no, I'm just being and we're just here. And it's, I don't know, there's just a lot of just deep love and acceptance there. And
Oh, I'm so glad.
yeah. I just wanted to share.
Yeah, it's a completely different way of functioning. It's a flip, instead of trying to get it out there, it's like it's coming from here.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much. I watched the YouTube videos all the time. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So I'm grateful to come through and share um, with folks who are flowing in this as well. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, it's really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing. Oh, so I just pinned myself. You might
Yeah,
have
so
appeared on camera though. Is that okay?
like in this meeting at the moment, but if it's on YouTube, then I won't be seen. Is it how it works? Oh,
Yeah, I'll cut that out if you're on screen, but I'm pinned now, so you won't be shown.
okay, that's cool. Yeah, thank you very much for well, I'm glad I can speak to you today. I
Yeah.
just want to very shortly say, I don't know if you remember. I want to share. Maybe somebody can relate. And I don't know if you remember. Like I spoke for the first time not long time ago, saying that I changed my profession and like what is going on. That I can't remember a simple routine. Why is that happening? And it took me a while just to realize that the main reason why I couldn't just remember anything was that I was in so much resistance with like the whole situation because there was something like not um the circumstances weren't the way they were agreed to be, and I was in so much resistance and my mind was so much all over the place. That was actually probably the main reason that I just couldn't remember like simple routines and like easy stuff because of the
Mm.
resistance. And that's basically all I wanted to say.
Oh, beautiful. And your job is
It was really for me. It was a sorry, say it again. I
oh
couldn't
no,
hear
it's
you. It
okay.
was cut off. Sorry, say it
Yeah,
again.
you can
Yeah,
continue.
yeah. So yeah, okay. So that's all. I like once I mentioned the story that I was like a aggressive animal attacked me, and I just half an hour later I completely forgot. It was just all the resistance and all the just like and mine being all over the place. So
Mm,
so so I'm glad that yeah I'm
beautiful.
yeah and
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, it can take time to process all of this stuff, because it's like strange, it's new, it's
yeah, and also as I said, that there were some circumstances which I just couldn't kind of stand, and then I was resisting it so much, and I didn't realize that I was in so much resistance, it's like so much that it was causing me just not to be able to focus, not to
mm,
be able to focus on tasks and just making sense of all the things which were happening in that environment. So that's all I wanted to say.
oh,
So,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah.
So thank you
We
very much.
we all enjoyed your first interaction. I liked
Well,
it.
I did. No, it's yeah. No. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for sharing. I'm glad. I'm glad that things have
Mhm.
probably released and just evened out more.
Yeah, it started to make sense. Yeah. And the memory is kind of working well, you know, and as I said, I know I'm in the right place, doing the right thing. It's just I just need to, you know, just try to focus, you know, that the mind is still crazy very much.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the functioning of the body can change, so then it could be really alarming or strange, and then it does kind of even out. So, but yeah, it's very strange in the beginning.
I don't know if anything is falling away. Hopefully it is, but I don't really care anymore. You know,
Good.
if it is, it is. If it's not, it's
Yeah.
not. It's as if I yeah. No, it's helping me. Like your videos are helping me. Well, I don't know if they're helping, but I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. You know, is it falling
Good.
away? It is. It is not that why should I care if there is no way to influence it or something like that? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, I need to just probably I need to try to function in like to be able to make money, you know, not to just you know, and that's all that matters. Like when I'm at work, I think you know not to mess up too much because I'm just like in resistance or disagreeing and or not being able to focus. So that's, um, like because of the people, you know, not because of the animals or the work itself, but the just the people can be difficult sometimes, you know, not following what they should be with the animals, you know, not what is like recommended or what makes sense, you know, how to take care of the animals so that they thrive. And if people are not doing that, then uh, that's what's making me kind of really angry at. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Beautiful. Yeah, there's
so
only so much you can do, and you can't really
yeah,
control people, but yeah,
well, yeah,
glad.
I will definitely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Thank you. Nice to see
Yeah.
you too.
Thanks for sharing.